Caught on nanny cam. A 26-year-old nanny hired for her great references and experience with preemies, now facing charges of putting a child at risk for injury. The children? 7-month-old twins left in her care when their mom heads back to work. Lindsay Addison installs an undercover nanny cam she can log on to right from work. And she saw everything but the kid glove treatment she thought the nanny was giving her babies. The newborns carried around like bales of hay and put in jeopardy to fall or suffocate. Cary, North Carolina authorities just now filing 2 counts of child abuse after watching the tape in its entirety. But tonight, nanny Stephanie Merrill walks free without bond and will not be back in court until May.
Well, it's caught on video, but yet she still walks free and reportedly is looking for a job in daycare. John Lieberman with America's Most Wanted. What happened?
Well, this woman is now charged with 2 counts of misdemeanor child abuse. Essentially what happened is, as your reporter mentioned, a mom is watching the nanny cam from work on her computer, and she sees things that horrify her. And finally, police got the whole tape in their possession, about 8.5 hours of watching this woman pretty much manhandle these 2 infants. And finally, once police got to view the entire tape, they pressed these misdemeanor child abuse charges.
John Lieberman joining us with America's Most Wanted to Lindsay Addison, the mom who set up the nanny cam. Lindsay, I've got to tell you, you're one lucky lady. You know, infants die every year of SID, sudden infant death syndrome, and a lot of it comes about because they end up turned over on their stomachs, face down, just like that, and they die. I think I've got Lindsay with me.
Yes, I'm here.
We're looking at the video right now. What do you think about the charges?
I'm satisfied with them because my main goal was just to get something on her record to hopefully prevent her from having a job in child care, and that obviously has done that.
Is it true, these reports, that she's out looking for another job in daycare?
I heard from 2 reliable sources that after the police spoke with her and told her not to, and after the video aired here locally, she was still pursuing child care positions.
To Dr. Bethany Marshall, after all this has happened, are you surprised the nanny's out looking for jobs with child care?
Not really, because she sees children as marks. They're big fat dollar bills to her, and the more she can roughhouse and rough handle them, she can make money off of them. Also, she doesn't really think that she has done anything wrong.
Out to the lawyers, Jay Fahey, New York, John Richardson, Miami, Mickey Sherman, New York. Mickey, how do you fight a charge like this?
By showing the video, and you know.
No, how do you fight it?
That's what I'm saying. By showing the video. If I'm not mistaken, when Mrs. Addison spoke to the police, they looked at the tape and they said it doesn't rise to the level of criminal conduct, and they didn't arrest him. Am I right, Mrs. Addison?
It wasn't child abuse, but it was neglect.
But didn't the police say that there wasn't enough to arrest them?
They weren't really clear on what they were telling me. I thought the case was closed, and then they proceeded to ask for the rest of the tape.
So what is your point, Mickey?
My point is it's despicable conduct. This woman is horrific. Should not be allowed to be in child care. But the police, upon viewing it, didn't think it rose to the level of criminal conduct to arrest him, and only arrested him after you, Nancy, as well you should, and the CBS Early Show and other shows broadcast this so much that I think the police and authorities were embarrassed into arresting her. I don't know that the charge is going to stick. It's horrible conduct, but I don't know if there's a crime there.
Well, it's my understanding that the police wanted to view the entire videotape. This is just what Lindsay Addison happened to log on to when she turned the thing on before they decided which charge. What about it, Jay Fahey?
I think this is a good case. I can understand what Mickey said. If you watch it over and over again and there are hours where maybe she's being nice to the children, that might help on the defense. But in a misdemeanor case, it's usually heard just by a judge, number one. So the sympathies of the jury will not be there. But
John? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jay.
I think this is a good case. And knowing that the mother had to watch this just pulls at the heartstrings.
John?
I believe this is disturbing. The fact that they took a month to file these charges and that this woman's out looking for a job and the government has tried to revoke her bond and she's potentially mentally ill. I mean, look at the video. Who does that to a child? I think the government has failed us. You need a license to cut hair, but you don't need a license to be a nanny.
The government. Interesting. To Dr. Daniel Spitz, medical examiner, joining us out of Michigan, what type of injuries could the child have received from this kind of treatment, doctor?
Well, Nancy, there's no doubt that the treatment that these children received is putting them at great risk for injuries. I'm talking about skeletal injuries, fractures, and like you mentioned, being left face down on a couch certainly increases the risk of suffocation, and this mother is lucky that nothing terrible happened to these children.
Doctor, very quickly, how do you tell post-mortem if a child died of SIDS or suffocation?
Well, it's really based predominantly on the circumstances and by looking at the environment in which the child was sleeping.
So you can't tell.
Not just based on the autopsy.
To Paul in Ohio. Hi, Paul.
Hey, how you doing, Nancy?
I'm good, dear.
I just wanted to know a couple of things. One is, has this lady done this to any other children? And two, did the mother do any background check on this lady or anything of that nature? Because
Lindsay, what type of background did you look into?
We pulled her criminal background, which there was nothing at the time. Obviously, now there'll be something for other people if she pursues
Did you call her references?
And I called 4 references, and they all checked out
Well,
great.
I bet they didn't have a nanny cam. To Michelle in California. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Nancy. Love your show. Watch you every day.
Thank you, dear. What's your question?
My question is, this lady is shown in 2 different outfits. For the length of time that she was being filmed and that she was being watched by this mother, how did she change into 2 different outfits? It seems like it would have been watched for a length of time.
We'll be right back with the answer.
Thank you.
Now to mother Lindsay Addison, who set up the nanny cam. Let's answer Michelle's question. What about the 2 outfits?
She actually got sit up on by a baby and was naked for part of the time and wearing a blanket from our sofa, throw blanket. That's what the second outfit was.
Oh, I see, because I could see like the bra straps there. That's a blanket.
Not pleasant to see either.
Got it. I want to go very quickly to Tom Shamshak, joining us from Boston, Private Eye there. Is there anything law enforcement can do to stop people like her from getting a job in child care?
Nancy, I think this person should be prosecuted. She needs to be brought forward in the system, and the conditions of probation should be that she has no involvement going forward. There should be yellow crime scene tape wrapped around this woman until that's where you have to go.
I think you're right. That's the only way. But with that, Bethany, we have to wait for a conviction.
Yes, we do. And you know, we think of the string of victims that have come before. They can't speak up. They're all still babies and young children, right? So if she's not prosecuted for this, who else is going to speak up?
A very special thank you to John Lieberman, America's Most Wanted, Tom Shamshak, and Lindsay Addison for sharing the home video.